awesome Tuesday. My name, of course, is Philip DeFranco, and this is where I talk about newsy type stuff and things that matter to me today. Nation, the first thing I want to talk about today are things you smoke. Reason for that is the World Health Organization came out today against e-cigarettes. E-cigs, which have been really popular with people trying to quit smoking as well as just young adults who like to smoke, widely considered by people in the public as a much safer alternative. The smoke is mainly water vapor. But the World Health Organization released a report today saying that there should be a ban of e-cigarettes indoors and that sales to children should stop, adding that there must be no more claims that the devices can help smokers quit until there is firm evidence to support it, and the products may pose a threat to adolescents and fetuses of pregnant women. So potentially a really big hit to the e-cig industry. And the second little bit with things you can smoke is the evil marijuanas. Evil marijuana use has been legalized in this state and that state, and it turns out today there might be a nice little side effect to go along with it. Researchers found that from 1991, the number of overdose deaths from drugs like Oxycontin, other things prescribed by doctors, tripled, with 46 people dying every day in the United States. But they also found that the 13 states that legalized medical marijuana use from 1999 to 2011 did not follow this suit. Instead, their overdose deaths were 25% down. And as pro-marijuana as I am, it's not just marijuana being legalized. There have been a number of efforts to stop doctors from over-prescribing things like Oxycontin, which is really good, especially when you pair it with legalized medical marijuana, where people go, oh, you know, it's less toxic, less addictive. And in my opinion, marijuana should be legalized everywhere for recreational or medical use, or at the very least, medical use. But that's just my opinion. And nation, from there, I want to share some stuff I love today, and today in Awesome, sponsored by forhumanpeoples.com. FHP, of course, where we sell these awesome shirts, the posters, the tank tops, the phone cases, the everything. This, of course, is one of the 5 exclusive designs we launch every week, only usually one of them survives. And then we launch a brand new 5 every Wednesday. Check them out and grab them while you can. And the first bit of awesome today is that Instagram released a brand new separate app called Hyperlapse. And what the app does is it makes this amazing, beautiful, very stable time lapse for you. I tested it at the office, which was kind of cool. It definitely looked a lot cooler when I took it for my bike ride. It's really fun, easy. The only negative is it's only for iOS right now, with Android coming soon. Then in Twitch Awesome, of course, we talked yesterday about how there were purchases for almost $1 billion.
1 billion!
But on top of that, the nation helped me find a guy by the name of No Hands Ken. He's a streamer who plays video games with his mouth using this thing called a joust. And that's because he had an accident 20 years ago resulting in him being paralyzed from the neck down. And he has this video where he's talking about his gaming, which, by the way, just amazing healer in WoW. Just listening to this guy's story, it was inspirational about how one man can just keep on trucking. If you have not heard about No Hands Ken before now, go check him out, follow him, he's awesome. Then in Online Video Awesome, a series that I've talked to about Friends, like being one of the most underrated shows on the internet, is Billy on the Street. It's on Funny or Die. It has Billy Eisner just running around, just yelling at people with a microphone. And last night they aired the video of Billy and Seth Meyers doing it for the Emmys, and it was awesome. I love Seth Meyers, but maybe Billy should host the Emmys next year. If you haven't checked him out yet, do it. We also got a first look at a game that many of us didn't know that maybe we wanted, and that is a Pokemon fighting game. And I don't mean like, you know, they have the 4 moves, you do the normal Pokemon. I'm talking Street Fighter, Mortal Kombat, but with Pokemon. The only thing I wonder is if it'll be limited to humanoid type Pokemon, because I think it would be really cool if I could uppercut someone as like Pikachu or Charmander. I know Pikachu gets all the love, but Charmander, you never forget your first Pokemon. I love you, son. And the last bit of awesome today is model awesome, but maybe not in the way that you would expect, because photographer Patrick Hall decided, you know what, let's get people in as few clothes as possible. And right before we take the picture, we tase them with a stun gun. And the photo set is amazing. Also, the pictures are 200 times more enjoyable if you imagine they have explosive diarrhea instead of that they're being tased. And nation, if you'd like to see the whole set, there's also a video of it, or anything else I talked about today. Links as always in the description down below. And nation, the next thing I want to talk about today is something I could have easily included in Today in Awesome, but it deserved a little room to breathe, and that's because I have to share the story of BAMF of the day, Mr. Josh Shaw. Josh Shaw is a USC cornerback. He was just named the captain of his team, but none of that mattered to him. Not his NFL prospect, the prospect of playing in the next game, anything like that, when he saw his nephew drowning in a pool. Reportedly, Shaw was on his 2nd floor balcony when he noticed his nephew, who was not able to swim, in the pool drowning. And rather than playing it safe and running downstairs through the house, taking all that extra time to get to that nephew, he jumped from the 2nd story balcony, landing so hard that he sprained both of his ankles. And even that didn't stop him from crawling over to the pool and saving his little nephew. People always talk about family over everything, but we rarely ever see that. And Mr. Josh Shaw, that is why you are our BAMF of the day. And nation, the last thing I want to talk about today revolves around the Emmys. They were last night, to sum it up, it was okay. There were some funny moments, like when Kimmel made fun of McConaughey. There was some sad thanks to an extra long in memoriam. I didn't realize so many people died this year. And of course, what a lot of people were watching for, Billy Crystal paying tribute to Robin Williams. And then finally, the thing that sparked a bunch of internet rage, Sofia Vergara being spun around like a human statue on a lazy Susan while an old rich white guy said words. And the word of the night soon became misogyny. People jumping to Twitter, many of them ladies saying, what the fuck are they doing putting Sofia Vergara on a turning stage? Disgusting. Modern Family wins every award it's ever nominated for, but apparently that's not enough for Sofia Vergara to be treated as more than a prop. Still a little queasy about the Sofia Vergara bit. But do we really need to objectify Sofia Vergara anymore? She's got a great sense of humor, not just T&A. And later, when Sofia Vergara was asked about this, she said, I think it's absolutely the opposite. It means that somebody can be hot and also be funny and make fun of herself. I think it's ridiculous that somebody started this. I know who she was, who has no sense of humor and should lighten up a little bit. And ultimately, Sofia's opinion of the whole situation is the same as mine. The reason for that is a lot of people were comparing this to Beyonce's whole feminist thing at the VMAs. Beyonce, while she was dressed what some would call provocatively, was empowered by it, while Sofia Vergara was just being treated like an object because of a man. And I would have that same opinion if not for the fact that Sofia Vergara says that it was just a joke, she was in on the bit, and it was all planned. And people on the internet want to get angry. I think the whole thing was kind of trying to be satire. It was maybe not funny, and if anything, actually, Sofia Vergara made it funny. When I think about feminism, and I'm not a source on feminism, in no way would you even think that. What I think of is equality. I think of grown-ass people making grown-ass decisions for themselves. It's just, as this was happening, I was like, oh, it's not funny enough for everyone to be on board the funny train, and parts of the internet are gonna get so fucking angry, but if roles were reversed and there were, let's say, that insanely jacked dude from True Blood that was also in Magic Mike, and he was just in like a Speedo flexing, there'd be GIFs of him on BuzzFeed going, oh, ooh. And it would have been just as okay because he was in on the joke, so why is it different here? In fact, most of the sites that have these articles just like lashing out at the Emmys and saying that this was sexist and objectifying. You hear me, BuzzFeed and other heavily female track sites? This man, Joe, he's a man with worth and value, not just because of his muscles and his hips that move in ways that I can't. He's a man with thoughts, feelings, ideas, but you don't even care. Do you know he's a supporter of an AIDS charity called Until There's a Cure? And also, there's probably more to him, but I can't find out because even his like IMDb, it's literally like movies he's played in and how he works out so much. That's it. I think maybe the reason my brain's having such a hard time of why this is sexist is because I do personally believe that men and women are equal. Perhaps as a society, women are not seen fully as equal, so in that way, it could be seen as objectification, but if we talk about objectification, maybe we should at least be equal opportunity objectifiers. And that, my friends, is how you slowly clear out the easily offended and not open to discussion parts of the nation. And nation, that's where I'm gonna end today's show and bring us to the big question of the day. Nation, I'd love to know what you think about this. Was it sexist? Was it repulsive? Was it funny? Was it, what do you think? And nation, today to possibly win a $50 gift card to 4humanpeoples.com, we're doing something a little different. Because the YouTube comment system has just been marking stuff as spam even though it's not. Tweet out a link to today's video with the hashtag #PhilMadeMeDoIt and we'll be randomly selecting one person. This is also my way to show love to those that actually stay for the very, very end of the video. But all of that said, as always, my name's Philip DeFranco. You've just been filled in. I love your faces and I'll see you tomorrow.